Welcome, Coven Members, and welcome back. We have some authors this year that we're quitting.
Gone.
We're done. We're
Over
done.
it.
Gave it a good try, but we're done.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are some authors that are now officially Autobuy, and we're keeping them
Forever.
forever. So we're going to talk to you about who we're keeping and who we're quitting.
Starting off strong for 2025, I am going to auto-buy Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti for everything.
What was the book that did it for you?
Zodiac Academy. Mm-hmm.
And what about her writing style do you like?
Writing style is not top tier, but I am not one to really judge on writing style that much as long as the ride is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And every single story I've read so far has been wonderful.
My first Autobuy author. Okay. My first Autobuy author that I read for the first time in 2025 was V.E. Schwab.
Mm.
She popped up.
Chef's kiss.
She popped up as an author event, and I'd been wanting to read her. And then I read the Darker Shades of Magic trilogy, and A Conjuring of Light is one of my favorite books of all time. It's moody, it's character driven, it's heartbreaking. Her books make me cry usually, and I'm not the crier.
She doesn't cry.
And the
It's
thing that I
weird.
love the thing I love about her so much too is that she has different writing styles. I could see someone liking her Shades of Magic trilogy and then not liking Addie LaRue and Barrier Bones because they're two totally different writing styles, but I love it all so far.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
She would be an auto-buy for me as well. The author I will be quitting for sure is Jason Rakulik.
What book did it for you?
Hidden Pictures. If I could rate it negative 10 stars, I would. So I'm going to give one quote from the book. It wasn't the only thing that put the nail in the coffin for me, but something that just sticks with me till this day. And I read this book in January. So one of the quotes or scenarios that the one of the characters was talking about was that when they went to a cheesecake factory and he was expressing about how he doesn't understand how people can eat at Cheesecake Factory or fast food restaurants and those people are just lazy, and it's just like, let people have happiness, and why does it matter? I love cheesecake, so back off, man.
The first author that I decided to quit in 2025 with an asterisk is Alex Astor. I am going to finish the Lightlark series. I will probably read everything that's put out with the Lightlark series, but I do not plan on picking up her Star Side or future books at this time. The books, to me, obviously have enough of a hook to keep me going because I'm going to continue the series. But to me, it's not enough to really keep me intrigued and to continue on with her writing style. I do think that she will do a very good job writing an adult book, but it's just not something that I'm interested in. I felt like Lightlark was a introductory YA series that was trying not to be, and that just didn't jive with me. So
I do remember you saying that this is a story that you felt like has already been wrote before,
mhm.
and you have seen it written a little bit better in a
Yes.
sense. So maybe because she is very young,
Oh, yeah.
maybe as she grows as an
Yeah.
author.
I wish her nothing but the best,
hmm
legitimately, because we did meet her. She
She
was
was
very,
very
very
sweet.
nice and very sweet.
Another author on my auto-buy list will be Lauren Palfreyman. She wrote The Wolf King and the Night Prince. So good. I'll automatically buy everything she has. If you haven't read that series, please go do so immediately. Oh, the audiobooks, I did not listen to those, but I hear nothing but amazing things. So, probably before the third book comes out, I will listen to those
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be a while.
My next Autobuy author is R.F. Kuang. I had suggested Yellow Face at our book retreat back in January because it was a nice little standalone. It was short.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to read The Poppy War. And Yellowface was so short, and I was very intimidated by her, and I was like, if I can get through Yellowface, surely you can give me a taste of like what the other books are like. And it's not just and she's not just an author to just kind of pick up and casually read. I have to lock in when I
Mhm.
read her books, but her books are incredible.
Except for Yellowface did make me incredibly angry, but, like, angry not because of the book, just the story
Yeah. I think that was the
itself.
point
Yeah.
too. She already has a new book announced for next year called Taipei Story, and that's honestly a lot of what she talked about when we saw her for Catabasis,
Mhm.
and I cannot wait to read it. I've read everything by her now except for Babel,
Mhm.
which I would love to read also. But
Mhm.
yeah, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, but not be overwhelmed and really get you thinking about like society and just like life in general, R.F. Kuang's a really good one.
Mhm. I feel like she involves a lot of, like, politics into her stories.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it's not your thing, then she might not be for you.
She might not. I don't think that she's for everyone, but when we saw her, basically the question was brought up of are you intimidated or pressured to kind of write at a lower reading level because of people being intimidated by your works, and she said, "I trust my readers."
That the readers want more challenging things.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Mhm.
sure.
Next author, I will be quitting. So this was an ARC read for me. Her name is Michelle Froman, and I do wish her all the best because she is an indie writer, and I love indie writers. Although I'm not extremely picky on grammar and sentence structure, I am picky when it's repetitive over and over and over, and to the point where like I am skipping pages to get to something new. And that's how it felt with her series that I read as an arc.
All right, next author I'm quitting is Stephanie Garber. Again, a little asterisk next to it. Alchemy of Secrets really did me in. I finished the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and she said that she is doing a novella, which I think is desperately needed for the way that that book ended. So I will be reading that novella, but I don't plan on reading Caraval anymore. And then anything future that's not related to Once Upon a Broken Heart, I don't believe I will be partaking in. I've heard that Alchemy of Secrets compares to Caraval, and I did not like Alchemy of Secrets, so it's kind of like, all right, never mind. Actually, Caraval, what I've heard about Caraval is kind of why I was hesitant to start Once Upon a Broken Heart,
Mhm.
because I've heard that like one of the main characters comes from that universe, but then another Coven member read it and was like, "You don't have to. It's fine." And you don't. You don't have
Mhm.
to. You might vibe with it. I did not. And even the very first book in this trilogy that I did read was not my favorite. If it wasn't for the other Coven members saying that like book 2 was one of her favorites, I probably would have just stopped. And it did get significantly better, but I'm just done.
There's no more.
No more. I do think she does a wonderful job at like world building and building the worlds that she is a part of. For me, I think it's more of a character thing
Mm.
and a plot thing.
And I think that that's important because you can have all the world building, but if I'm not invested in the people,
Yeah.
then what is the point of the plot? Another Autobuy author for me will be LJ Claren. She was also an arc and an indie author who the arc that I read is now being traditionally published. So
Woo!
claps to her. I'm excited. The book that I read was The Silversmith. It was so good. I know the next book is coming out next year, so I will be continuing that series, and I'm very excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy for her.
Next Autobuy author is Amber V. Nicole. Sarah's book series got picked for 2025, which was Book of Azrael, God Monsters series. The fourth book just came out, and it's phenomenal. It's a wonderful series. It has so many different creatures. It has a bunch of lore. It has a bunch of gods and monsters.
And the female is the villain.
Yeah. The
So
The female being the villain and like kind of being told from that perspective is so fresh and interesting. The cast of characters really feels like found family. Like as far as the cast of characters go, I haven't felt this way about a cast since kind of like SJM, like Akatar vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm invested in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that she's coming out with another book that's not related next year. And so I'm super stoked to read that. Don't know anything about it yet, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for it.
I did not know that. That's new information. I will
Yeah.
be getting that.
Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So, yep, she's wonderful.
This next author that I will be quitting, and please don't come for me because I'm really sorry, but I can't do it, is Tessa Bailey. I really like her. I'm not a big romance, like rom-com kind of girl, and I don't know what that says about me. Uh, about like just happily ever afters without like my heart being torn out and stomped on first. I do feel like a lot of the rom-coms have like insta love,
Mm.
even if it does say like enemies to lovers or, stuff like that. It's just you barely know him or you hated him yesterday. Why do you love him? And I just need more.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a rom com girly either, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. They need to like stab each other first.
Yes. Or stalker.
Yeah.
Something.
This next one hurts. This next one hurts real bad.
Mm.
I'm quitting Carrie Maniscalco. She wrote the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, and I have had that trilogy on my TBR for a couple years, and I was so excited. I picked spooky season to
Mm-hmm.
read Kingdom of the Wicked, and everything on paper should have been
Right up your
was
alley.
Lindsay coded, but
Mhm.
it just didn't do it for me and it makes me mad. I did audiobook first. The audiobook was great. Like there was some ambient creepy music at the right times that made things like even scarier and more high octane and I was like, "Oh, it's going to be cool." And then when I kind of was losing steam, I switched to the physical cuz that's what I tend to do and I finished it. But I have not thought about the characters. The only thing I think about when I think about that series is how disappointed I am that I didn't like it.
Was the audiobook graphic?
No, it wasn't.
That's kinda cool that it had all that music
Yeah,
into it.
it did. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna try and read that because 'cause I've also had it on my TBR. I don't
Mhm.
know when.
I want you to read it because I want to know what I'm missing, what
Mhm.
I missed, but I did already unhaul the books. So, you
They're already
they're
gone.
gone. But yeah, so I'm just disappointed that I didn't like it. I think that it was a case of it wasn't for me, even though it should have been.
It should have been.
It
It
should have
was
been.
right up your alley.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok the other day, and someone was like, "The first thing you need to do is accept that you'll never read all your books on your TBR." And I was like, "That hurts." Yeah. And I'm like, "That's not fair."
That
But
is not fair.
they're like, "You don't have enough time." And I'm like,
Mm.
truth." My next Autobuy author of this year is Rachel Gilling.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, everything that lady will write from here until eternity, I will buy, I will read.
I was redoing my bookshelves and she has written 3 books and I have 8. I have 8 copies of her books. And I'm like, there's the math is not mathin'.
The exact same. I have them in paperback.
Mhm.
And then the Shepherd King series, they have 2 different types of like special editions.
Yep.
Have to have both of those.
Correct. I convinced you to buy one of those.
Yeah, you did. Because I was like, I already have one. Do
Mhm.
I need another one? And you're like, yes. And I'm like, you're right. And then the Night and the Moth.
Yep.
Yeah. And if it comes out in paperback, which I'm sure it will, all pretty, I will buy it.
All right, my next Autobuy author will be Adeline Grace. She wrote the Belladonna series, And honestly, it's perfect that you just talked about Rachel because I feel like the Belladonna series is like the YA version of One Dark Window.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the creepy vibes, it has the gothic vibes, it has really good characters, it has really good story. I read all 3 of them within like a week and a half.
Yeah, you knock those out.
Yes, and I think it's going to be so cute because Holly, which is a novella, just came out. The first book I read in 2025 was Belladonna, and the last book I'm going to read is Holly. So I'm starting it with her and I'm ending it with her, and I can't wait to see what else she comes out with.
That is super cute. Maybe I'll read it at the end so I can finish Holly out for the year.
See, and that's why I want to read Holly too. Like, on top of that, it's also a Christmas book. It's probably the closest to a Christmas book that I will willingly read. Hear that, book club? Our book club's coming up soon. We're about to pick a new book club book.
Another author I'm going to quit is Callian Bradley. She wrote The Ministry of Time. The concept of that book was really cool and promising. I was just bored.
Womp womp. That's it. That's all you can say.
I literally have not, because it wasn't bad writing or anything. I was just bored.
Yeah. Next author I'm going to quit is Raven Kennedy.
That's surprising to me, I feel like.
Is it?
Yes and no, but yes.
The series should have been 5 books, not 6. It was supposed to be 5 books, and then it got split up. And the first book should have been an email. Books 2, 3, and 4 are very, very good. Books 1, 5, and 6 are not my favorites.
I mean, so 50%.
50% of this really long series. I will never get rid of the series because I have all of the white covers with the gold sprayed edges, so it's going to live on my shelf. I enjoyed the ride. You know, her next book is supposed to be a duology too. So, I don't know. I think that this is a truly classic. Her writing style is not for me. Sometimes her descriptions I would compare to how V.E. Schwab describes things. So there's that, because V. Schwab is my favorite author at this point. I can see the similarities. I think it just comes down to a technicality or what surrounds those words, you know.
I think if she publishes a pretty book, you'll buy it. Who wants to take that bet with me?
We'll see. We'll see.
My last auto by author from 2025 so far will be Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. They wrote Blood and Betrayals. And although that book is 800 pages and a little bit dragged out, the ending was epic. The whole book was great. I loved it. I will be continuing reading them. They are indie authors, so if you have not read Blood and Betrayals, you should.
My last Autobuy author that I discovered in 2025 is Sin-Lin Yu. And they wrote Alchemized, which is super popular right now. I feel like the potential that they have as an author, I feel like we've only scratched the surface. I don't know if they plan on writing anymore in the Alchemized universe. I don't know if they plan on writing something different. I'm not sure. But I just have to imagine that they're going to write more books in the future. And I'm here, I'm waiting when they're ready. Because Alchemized, to me, was a really big surprise. I mean, honestly, I kind of jumped on the hype train. I'm like, okay, everyone talks about how heart-wrenching Manacled is and Alchemized is and blah, blah. So I was like, let me see what this is about. You know, I was a little skeptical, I guess. But the way that they wove everything, and to me, plot is a really big deal. And there's not a loose thread. Everything made sense. There were so many callbacks, and I was like, yes. So yeah.
And for a book to be over 1,000 pages for you to feel that way, I feel like is intense. For one, I do feel like a lot of books have a lot of filler in them.
Yeah.
And just tend to drag on. And that can really just like ruin
Yeah.
an awesome story for me.
For sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
and there are so many books that I read this year that I'm like, they probably could have cut 50 pages. Oh, they probably could have cut 100 pages, but no, I don't want them to cut a single page out of Alchemized.
Not even one.
Not one. I
Jeez.
know. Yeah,
1,000 pages.
worth it. It's an experience. I feel like there's some books that we've gotten that we just kind of know. Like when we got Barrier Bones, chose to immersive read that from the beginning because I'm like, I just feel like this is going to be an experience.
Mhm.
And Alchemized, though I did immersive read it, I felt the same way. I'm like, this is going to be an event in my
Mhm.
life for good or bad.
Mhm.
And yeah, so they just really impressed me and I want to see what else they can do.
Yeah. Again, please don't hate me, but I am going to quit Amy Dawes. Yeah, so I give it a fair shot. Again, I'm just not a big rom-com girl. Our book club book was The 7-Year Itch, the second book in the Mountain Man series, and I read the 9-month contract as well. I really did enjoy that one. I love a good grumpy man, you know? The second one, I was actually very excited for because I really did like Calder. So it's about 3 brothers and follows them.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed Calder in the first book, and I thought that I would like him the most. And the second book is framed as an enemies to lovers. I disagree.
And you did the extra work because you read the first one.
Who starts that book too?
Me. I did.
Crazy people.
It's an interconnected standalone. You know what
Mhm.
happens in book 1 after reading the first couple chapters of book 2.
Yes, but it's hard to argue that one because it just I mean, I don't even know if I would have gotten through the second book if I didn't read the first one because I did enjoy the first one.
Mm.
And the second one was just I feel like so I audiobook listened to that one cuz Teddy Hamilton's in that and I feel like that's also another reason why I got through them, but there was points in the second book that I was just not even listening and I didn't need to because I could just figure it out later on. And that to me is just boring.
The last author that I have decided to quit since reading them in 2025 is Sarah Reese Brennan.
Thought you were gonna say Sarah J. Maas right there, and I was just like, who are you?
Ooh, you're out of the club.
Yes.
She wrote Long Live Evil, which is our book club book, or was our book club book for October. And I DNF'd it at 54% because it wasn't for me. I was confused. No, I definitely, because for me, the reason why I DNF'd, I feel like was because of the writing style, because I felt like there was key points that we were missing that was important for me as a reader to know. You made a good point when we did our review, like, hey, do you think maybe some of the stuff was kept out like on purpose? Maybe, but it was, if it was too much for me to invest and care into what was happening.
Yeah, it can't be like things that you need to know that's like kept out of the story. It needs to be things that are just like that leave you in suspense and that you want to know what's gonna go on here. Not like important details in the story to make it make sense.
Yeah.
That
Which
is.
we have other Coven members that have read it and they finished it and they liked it just fine. So it is probably definitely just a case of me. I'm the problem.
I have also not read it, and I probably will. Well, okay, so my thing too, and I don't like to judge a book by its cover. I really don't. This one, I did. That didn't stop me from planning on reading it. It was actually your fault because
I
you
know.
you DNF'd it after I was already like really struggling to like pick it up. I mean, we have different styles too.
Mhm.
I say we're a lot alike, but we're
Yeah.
also different.
What authors did you discover this year that you will auto buy and continue to read? What authors did you read and you're like, not for me?
We need to know both.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.